how to get your ex back. Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I'm Elias, your relationship expert and coach. In this video, we're going to discuss the precise method to successfully get your ex back, no matter what situation you're put in. The first thing I often hear in coaching is, Elias, people say that trying to get your ex back is silly, that it's pointless. This is a basic mistake people make today, and I completely understand your situation. I know that you still have strong feelings for this person, even if some time has passed, which we'll be discussing further. Regardless of your situation, you continue having regrets about the past. So trying to get your ex back isn't silly. It's about facing a situation that's causing you pain. It's about being willing to examine yourself, to understand your negative behaviors, and to find solutions. In this video, we're going to explore the plan, the precise method to take action and bring someone back into your life. I really want to emphasize this because when it comes to getting your ex back, there is a form of emotional dependency. You might put your ex on a pedestal and do everything possible to try to win them back. Unfortunately, this often does not work, but I can assure you that with my experience and as a man myself, it's possible to make your ex come back to you. But for that to happen, you need to understand the true meaning of emotional recovery. As I was saying, the first thing to understand is that we're going to do everything to make sure you have no regrets. This means I'll help you become the best version of yourself. I'll help you understand how to never experience a breakup again. From all my experience, I found there are often two main causes that explain a breakup. Your ex may not tell you directly, so you need to try to find the exact cause of the breakup. First, it's when you take your partner for granted. This means that routine has taken over love, happiness, and feelings. You've entered the phase of routine where you're no longer focused on thriving in your relationship. That's when you take your partner for granted. On the opposite end, the second cause of breakup is when you're completely emotionally dependent. This means you can't live without your partner and you show them that. Why is this a reason for breakup? Simply because at some point, you stop bringing positivity to your partner. You stop being fully yourself, the fun and exciting part of you, and instead, you start becoming more stressed, anxious, negative, and have emotional outbursts. In short, a whole series of small mistakes that destroy feelings and lead your partner to want to break up. The first step to successfully getting your ex back is understanding the breakup. Either you fell into a routine or you were emotionally dependent. In between these extremes, there are situations like midlife crises where your ex might say things like, "It's not you, it's me," or "I'm lost, I don't know what I want." In these cases, the goal is to invest in yourself, to recreate attraction and rekindle the flame and the feelings that were once there. You need to be able to recreate attraction. Remember that a relationship is all about putting in consistent effort and trying to constantly win them over with small gestures and words of affirmation. Now that you know the causes that can explain and lead to a breakup, I want you to make me a promise. A promise to never make the same mistakes again. You can't continue acting the way you have up until now because it will lead to new breakups, whether with your ex or with someone new. You need to accept the idea of a new concept. Let's call it emotional education. What does that mean exactly? It means you need to learn to understand love better, to manage your emotions better, to bring more positivity into your life, and ultimately to have a greater impact on your partner and on yourself. So, to get your ex back, you need to understand your mistakes and vow never to repeat them again. This is really the best way for you to control your emotions and feel good. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's not the length of your relationship that matters. Several years ago, I did a study on what we call nowadays love at first sight. These are relationships that last less than a year and are based purely on emotions and lust. It's like feeling an overwhelming love for someone for the first time, even though your relationship was short. But what you need to understand is that it's not the length of the relationship that matters, but the intensity. What does that mean? It means that if you feel like you've met the love of your life, you should fight for this happiness. But how, you might ask? We can't talk about feelings because it's too soon to rely on the feelings, which are much more stable than romantic emotions. So the reality is, In this kind of situation, we avoid classic techniques like the no contact rule or handwritten letters and instead focus on rekindling the attraction through pleasant and engaging communication. Sharing one's emotions would be a great example, and seductive energy would be another. This is extremely important for you to understand. So whether your relationship lasted a few weeks, a few months, or it was just a false start, let's say, from a day to 8 weeks, or a love at first sight situation lasting from 8 weeks to a year, your relationship deserves special attention. Anything beyond a year is considered a classic recovery. But what's interesting and what I've analyzed over the years is that regardless of the length of your relationship, you tend to make the same mistakes. This concept is what I refer to as the forbidden actions. These are all the mistakes you should never make after a breakup. You tend to let your emotions take over, you'll cry, which is completely normal. You'll beg your ex, make false promises, and take various actions that don't really yield results. You do these things instinctively because it feels natural to talk about your feelings. But what I want you to understand is that these forbidden actions prevent you from getting your ex back. It's silly because there are techniques that have been scientifically proven to work based on my experience, and they really work depending on your situation. But you let your emotions take over, and in the end, you won't really be able to get your ex back. Once again, these forbidden actions are extremely important. Even if you've made them, it's not the end of the world. Some people tell me, Elias, I've done these forbidden actions to which you're referring to. Does that mean I can't get my ex back? That is not true. That's not true at all, actually. Take Fatima, for example. A young woman I advised who was completely dependent on her man. So when she was dumped, she made love confessions. She gave him gifts. She wrote him a letter. She bombarded him with texts, harassed him, and even went to his house. She even talked to his mom. In short, she did every forbidden action imaginable. I'm telling you this because it happened several years ago. She said to me, Elias, I totally messed this up. I told her, no, first of all, it's normal to make mistakes after a breakup. We're not robots. We can't control our emotions like that. But what matters is understanding the techniques. So if you've made some forbidden actions, but then apply the right techniques for your situation, you can make a radical change. What I mean is that Fatima simply needed to distance herself and refocus on herself to recreate the attraction that was once there, to show her ex-partner her true worth. It's important for you to understand that winning back your ex often means showing your best self. So you understand the concept of attraction and can act on it now. Generally, it's very straightforward. What you lack are the techniques. First, there is the famous no contact rule, which involves taking a step back. This scares you, and I've made several videos about it. I'm working on creating a training program for you guys on how to implement a good no contact rule, which I'll be sharing with you very soon. So stay tuned. The no contact rule scares you because you think that if you distance yourself, your ex will forget about you. But in reality, the opposite happens in the human brain. The more you distance yourself, the more your ex becomes attentive to how you express yourself or act after the no contact period. That's why I recommend sending a handwritten letter. That's a big gesture because it sends a strong double signal. A letter like this can actually open up the human memory, which is very selective, and your ex will remember your words over time, especially seeing as it's written on paper, which expresses even more emotions. Secondly, because when you write a letter, you can organize your thoughts and send a powerful emotional message to your ex, rekindling the passionate feelings between you guys. That's one possible approach. With a no contact rule and a handwritten rule, the second possible approach is simply showing your change. This is the rekindling of attraction by communicating as if you were talking to your best friend. This scares you, I know, because you might say, but Elias, I'm afraid of falling into the friend zone. It's normal to feel that way, but there is no friend zone. If you talk to your ex like you're talking to your best friend, you'll laugh, you'll have fun together. Now, it may sound simple when I put it that way, but it's extremely important because when your ex sees that you're confident, they'll give you their attention. Now, if you're telling me, but Elias, we've already broken up several times, I'll proceed to telling you one thing. Nothing is lost. I know couples who broke up 8 times, maybe even 20 times, but once they apply the right techniques, they stay together. So it's always possible to win back your ex as long as you understand the true meaning of love and attraction. And most importantly, that you stop making mistakes, that you control your emotions, and that you become a new version of yourself. As I always say in my videos, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel, share your experience in the comments below, and hit the like button. I'd be happy to hear your story. I'm always open to questions because I love this community and I want us to go even further together. You'll see that you can become the person you truly want to be. If you're facing a difficult situation, feel free to reach out to me via email that I've put in the description below, or DM me through Instagram at Ilias_talks. And I'll see you very soon for a new video on personal development and how to win back your ex. See you soon, my friends. Take care. Ciao.